And when he came back from vacation and came back to work on Monday the 16th, he wasn't feeling well. He was off Tuesday. He came back to work again Wednesday when he wasn't feeling well. Thursday was off sick. And by Saturday, his mom called and said he was in the intensive care unit at a suburban hospital in what was thought to be bronchitis. A COVID-19 test was done, but the results, as I understand it, were not back. He passed early Monday morning. Because he lived in the suburbs and was in a hospital in the suburbs, the Detroit Health Department doesn't get notification. That's something that we're going to need to have to clean up. But when Chief Craig told me he was concerned that there was a death of a 38-year-old call taker with respiratory issues, we asked Dr. Rob Dunn, who's been a godsend to the first responders in the city, to follow up and, for the protection of our employees, make absolutely certain there was no chance that COVID-19 was involved. Dr. Dunn will share his experience, but as I understand it, some hours after our dedicated employee passed, the results of the test came in. Now, that's not unusual. We've talked about this before. The shortage of testing capacity, a 4 or 5 day turnaround on a test, is not unusual, but had Dr. Dunn not proactively reached out, I'm not sure that we would have known it. But instantly, after reaching out, the Detroit Police Department responded. This is a reminder of why Governor Whitmer's order was so important. It is not just elderly people who are dying of this disease. There is something about it that's attacking the airways that younger individuals are affected severely as well. And it is critical that we respect the social distance rules, and we're all going to wonder if as a country we hadn't put those social distance rules in some weeks earlier, if we wouldn't have a lot of our citizens still with us. Probably the thing that I am proudest of was what Chief Craig and the department did afterwards. In May of 2018, we built a new $8 million communication center right here in this building. But the chief said to me, we need to have a backup communication center. In the event of a terrorist attack, natural disaster, whatever, we need to do that. And so we spent the money to keep a backup center operational. The department trains for this. And as soon as we learned about our call taker being positive for COVID-19, the department literally packed up and moved in a very short period of time to the other center so that we could do a deep clean of the communication department here. Had this happened 2 years ago, this would have been an operational difficulty, but because this department now has these kinds of resources and they train for it, I doubt that any citizens were even aware that the transition took place. And after a couple of days of deep cleaning, we will bring the communication center back here. I want to thank Dr. Dunn, who has been phenomenal for police, fire, EMTs. And we've talked about the number of folks being quarantined. Our officers want to go to work, but Dr. Dunn has got protocols in place that if you've had primary contact with somebody who has COVID-19 or we believe may have COVID-19, basically he quarantines you until we're sure. And we've been about as aggressive as anybody. But there have been some stories that I think have been misleading, suggesting that police officers aren't coming to work. Our police officers are showing up every day. The officers that Dr. Dunn is quarantined are anxious to get back on the job. And I look at the performance of this department, and what I look at is the 911 priority 1 response times. There were legitimate media criticism last year that at times it was over a 14 or 15 minute average response time. The national standard is 12 minutes. We've gotten it down under 12 minutes with great work. But the last 5 days, our 911 average priority 1 response time has been under 11 minutes. And last Friday it was under 10 minutes. Our officers when they're healthy, are showing up for work. They're taking extra shifts. People are pitching in. I am just so proud of what I believe is the most professional police department in the country. And with that, I want to turn it over to the person who's running it and has just done a great job during this period, Chief James Craig.